All right, so we are ready now to put all three of these together. We've got our mug, we've got our chocolate liquid, and we've got our marshmallow. And we are ready to put all three of those together into our assembly drawing to make this a cup full of hot cocoa. So go to your assembly tab, and from there we want to insert. So we'll go ahead and insert the mug first. So we'll go ahead and insert that mug first and just drop that in and place it. So I'm going to check that for right now, and then come back over to your mug and right click. We want to fix this uh, part in here so that it doesn't move on us. So now I've got that fixed. So in case you didn't see what I did, I right clicked, and then right here there's a fix. It says unfix right now, so you can just click it. So right click and fix that part so that it stays put. Let's go back now and we will insert next. I'm going to insert the chocolate liquid. So just kind of bring that, place that anywhere on here. There we go. Click that off. Now we've got to create the relationship between these two, and we've got these different types of constraints up here. So you've got your mate connector, we've got a fasten mate, revolute mate, slider mate, so on and so forth. So I think for this one, I'm just going to use fasten mate. Let me move down in my view cube. I'm going to select down here on the bottom of the liquid, and then I'm going to kind of pan and zoom till I can touch and hit the bottom of that and click to place that. So there you go. So all right, so that gets my hot cocoa in there, and you can see now that the dimensions that we've set are all pretty good. So they're good to go, and it sits below the mug. So I come back over here into my isometric view, and we'll go ahead and disconnect that. And lastly, I want to insert my marshmallows. Now, it's up to you. You insert at least 3 marshmallows. I mean, it's really not hot chocolate at least unless you have at least 3. But if you're really into hot chocolate, you can basically put as many as you want in there. So, and I'm going to show you in this video how to do the one. Then you can kind of put uh, as many of them in there as possible. So I'm going to go with a 5 marshmallows in here now as well. We'll go ahead and check mark that. And we're kind of going to do this as a fasten mate again. So, and we're just going to play around with a few things here. So I'm going to select this. So, and then I'm going to click on the same bottom. Now, you'll notice when we put that in here, let me kind of bring this in. You'll see where it's attached to the bottom of the mug there. So, and not exactly the way we want to do it. So we're going to select the offset here. And we can now move this around in the X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to take this up. Let's go 2.5 in the Z, and that should move it up. Nope, it went down. So we can either use the arrow and click on the arrow. I think that'll work to move it. Well, and let's take a look. Nope, it's still there. So instead of doing that, another way to is just go ahead and put the minus 2.5. And notice not quite enough yet. So let's go a little bit more here, minus 2.75. See if that's enough. I've got to click out of that screen to kind of get me up to where I need to be. So still not quite there. Oh, yep, it's floating just a little bit. So you can see how it's kind of coming up on there. Now let's go ahead and move that over in the X a little bit too. Let's move that over just 1 in the X, and maybe I'm going to look down on the top of this here, 1 in the X, and let's move it over, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch and make it 1/2 an inch in the Y. All right, so notice that didn't work because I put 2 decimal points. So there we go. Let's get rid of the 1. All right, so there we go. That's 1/2 an inch in the Y. Move that one there and put that in there. we can also put a little bit of a rotation angle on this. So let's just go ahead and do 90 degrees on this one. So now notice when I did that, panning around, it lowered it. So I'm not quite high enough now. So let's raise this up back into Z again. Let's go 3. If that's enough to get us back up above and floating. All right, getting there. So almost, not quite. So, and we're kind of interfering there with the side edge of it. So that means I need to come back here and let's change that Y to 0.25. So I'm just really kind of playing around with this just to kind of get these in different locations here. So now we've got that floating. So maybe I'll raise that up a little bit more, 3.1. Oh, 3.1. All right, and I'll click the check mark. So that's pretty good. I like where that's at. So kind of floating in there. There's the first marshmallow. Let's go ahead and place another marshmallow now, doing the same thing. So I'm going to click on the bottom of this, and we'll select the same thing here. In this case, I'm going to offset this to, we did a -3 last time, so we'll go ahead and do the -3 this time too. And in this case, as far as rotation about the X, I'm just going to rotate this about 30 degrees here. Let's just see what happens. So there you go. So now that one's kind of floating a little bit on its side, and I'm probably even going to say that's a little too high now on this. So let's drop this down to 2.9, -2.9. Kind of change that around, and we're going to move this over into Y. Let's just move it 1 inch, just see where that goes. Okay, there we go. Look at it from the top. So, and check that. Oh, something happened there, so I kind of lost. So I got my marshmallows in place, but I lost my chocolate. So let's see what happened there. So that make connected. So make connected. Well, let's just go ahead right now. Let's delete this out first. So if you're ever in doubt, probably the easiest thing is just to go ahead and delete some of those mates and then go back, and I'll just go back and redo it again. I don't know, something I clicked on picked it up, but we'll replace that. There we go. So quickest and fastest way is just to delete it. So you get the point here now. So I've got 2 marshmallows floating on top of that. I can go ahead and add the other 3 marshmallows to get into and make sure that I've got that floating however I want to. So try at least 3 marshmallows. If you want 5, I think 3 to 5 is plenty to get into that. And then you will have this particular project completely finished, and you've got your mug of hot cocoa.